Hello folks, the stock market tanked on Monday and it looks like there is further downside. SoundHound was also weak, falling nearly 10%. I'm still holding though. In this video, I'll talk about what is happening in the markets and how much lower it might go. Then I'll give you an analysis of SoundHound's price action and what might make the stock go back up. And finally, offer my predictions for the rest of the week. Before we begin, most of you are not subscribed, so please hit that like and subscribe button to get instant updates when I post SoundHound videos. And also, I'm not a financial advisor, so take all my content with a grain of salt and seek professional financial advice if you need to. I've been calling for a market correction over the past few weeks, and Monday's price action pretty much confirmed it. The Nasdaq fell nearly 1.8% on Monday, and it was quite surprising to see the Russell 2000 fall less, down only 1.3. As expected, the VIX spiked hard, rising to 19. I'm expecting the VIX to continue rising as the market falls. I think it might top out at around the mid-20s or even mid-30s this time round. Notice how it peaked at over 40 during COVID. I don't think it'll be that bad this time round. So what's causing the stock market sell-off? The answer is inflation. Inflation is staying high for longer at just under 4%, which is twice as high as what the Fed would like it to be, which is 2%. And that means interest rates will have to stay high for longer in order to slow down the economy, which is bad for interest rate sensitive assets like stocks. When it comes to interest rates, long-term ones, such as the 10-year Treasury yield, continue to rise, and as we can see in this 5-year chart, the trend is decidedly up, and it's going to take something big to reverse it. This means that we could see the 10-year at around 5% in just a couple of months as it tests the prior high circled here. Anticipating this, interest rate sensitive sectors such as comm services, consumer discretionary, infotech, and real estate are all falling hard, and I expect this to continue until something changes on the inflation front. Remember, rising rates are usually bad for stocks. So where do I think the market is headed? Well, I think it's probably headed lower. If we look at the Nasdaq, I predict we are likely to fall at least 10% from peak to trough. The peak in the triple Qs was around $450, so if we take 10% off that, we end up with around $405, which is here on the chart. I think this is a very reasonable target for the current correction because it's in between the long-term moving averages of the 100-day and 200-day EMA. This means we are not even halfway through this current correction. A similar correction occurred at the end of last year where we saw a 10% correction all the way down to the 200-day EMA. I'm currently hedging my stock portfolio by shorting Nasdaq futures, but I'm not sure when I will close it, maybe another 5% lower and I'll start closing my shorts. Furthermore, breadth is declining rapidly. This is a chart showing the percentage of stocks above their 200-day moving average. As you can see, it is declining along with the market, which confirms the downtrend. I see this going down to around the mid-40s before it bottoms out. This is an important metric because it tells you how strong the underlying market is beneath the index level. Anyway, whether or not this correction turns into a bear market is uncertain, but I think it's due to sector rotation rather than a huge slowdown in the economy, so we should see the market bounce back after this correction. So at the end of the day, we are still in a bull market, so I'm not selling my core stocks like SoundHound. Speaking of the hound, let's take a look at its price action on Monday. If we look at the 15-minute chart, we see a sustained sell-off throughout the whole day. But this is just mirroring the action of the overall market, which sold off all day as well. On the daily chart, we see that the brutal sell-off continues in earnest with no end in sight. So it's not really looking great, but once this broader market correction dies down, hopefully we can see the price recovering back to the 5s. However, all is not doom and gloom. There are several things we can look forward to that might help SoundHound recover in price. These are new customer wins, beating market expectations in the upcoming earning report, new collaboration announcements with key partners, and new investors in SoundHound. So when it comes to new customer wins, SoundHound CFO back in March said they're working to sign up a big new customer in the restaurant space. So it could be any one of these names listed here. Clearly, the bigger the better, but even existing clients like Jersey Mike and White Castle are actually pretty legit, so hopefully they contributed significantly to SoundHound's top line in the first quarter. Which brings me to the upcoming earnings report. The first quarter earnings will be released in the first week of May, if this article is to be believed, and estimates for the top and bottom line are as follows. I think SoundHound can definitely beat these numbers, especially if management has been proactive in converting the huge amount of orders on backlog to revenues. Furthermore, we could hear new collaboration announcements between SoundHound and prominent commercial partners. We already saw a collaboration announcement between Nvidia and SoundHound through Nvidia's autonomous driving division. This is just speculation from my end, but partners in the future could include Apple and Tesla. Apple's voice AI assistant Siri is outdated and is known to have many limitations. If Siri is still this bad after all this time, Apple might abandon it altogether and just use someone else's technology. SoundHound's voice AI could be the solution. Also, Tesla's voice assistant is not much chop either, and because of Tesla's struggling fortunes recently, I doubt they're going to commit too much capital to developing their own voice AI technology. They could use SoundHound's and combine it with their own Grok AI system, since Elon Musk clearly opposes OpenAI and ChatGPT. Finally, further investment in SoundHound by key anchor investors like Nvidia, SoftBank and Honda could see a renewed interest in SoundHound stock. Management recently announced a share offering of up to $150 million, so it would be interesting to see if any of these big investors commit more capital. There is also the chance that new investors enter the arena. If any companies in the Mag 7 like Apple, Microsoft or Tesla take an equity stake in SoundHound, expect to see a valuation uplift in SoundHound stock. So those are some of the reasons why I continue to hold. What are my projections for the share price for the rest of the week? Well, it sort of depends on what the market does. We could see some sort of a recovery bounce on Tuesday, but unfortunately so far we've seen SoundHound fail to hold two key levels of support at $8 and $5. Now I want to see $4 holding because we are sitting on the 100-day moving average. Usually this is a good place for long-term support to come in for rising stocks. However, I expect the market to continue falling and SoundHound could finish the week at around the low 3s or even the high 2s. But that doesn't mean I'm selling, because I could be wrong and the market might reverse course and go back up to finish the week higher. One positive thing to note about the recent decline is that it's been happening on low volume. This means that it's unlikely to have been caused by wholesale capitulation, whereby big holders dump their entire stakes. I think it's mainly due to retail traders just selling and moving on to the next momentum play. I personally think that after the broader market correction finishes, we could be in for an almighty relief rally. Unfortunately, that rally might not last very long, since there's been a growing number of bag holders in the red queuing up to sell into any rally. This means that the $5 level is now a resistance level, which will require a lot of buying to get through. And unfortunately, I'm hereby joining the bag holder ranks, as I bought SoundHound at $4.08 in late February. I also posted last month that my stop loss is at around $2, and that hasn't changed, but hopefully we never get to see that price. If we do though, I will honor my stop loss and probably sell most, if not all, of my SoundHound shares. That means I'll take a 50% loss, but I guess it's better than an 80, 90 or even 100% loss. But I want to ask, are you guys using a stop loss? If so, at what price is it at? Let me know in the comments below. In summary, it's a very difficult period for everyone right now, and this is the reality of investing in highly volatile stocks like SoundHound. It's super volatile not only financially, but emotionally. Regardless of the outcome, this experience will make me a more resilient and experienced investor. If you're also invested in SoundHound, I hope this experience helps you in some way too. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please click the like and subscribe for daily SoundHound updates, and see you tomorrow.